But see how easy it was for me to just crap out those two 30-minute videos? Well, one was 20 minutes, the other one was 30. But just off of that, I just made two videos and it won't go anywhere. But I like how it's not me depending on politics, the new news, or I don't have to make clickbait titles and I don't got to do all this editing. Or I realize they say that YouTube is pretty much the new form of television or the new form of cable. So, I would have to have like a setup and everything, and I would have to talk in a type of manner that y'all want me to talk in. Even though I'm talking standard American English, but it's the it's the words, it's the ideologies, my race. Y'all want an echo chamber, all that type of stuff, especially the white people. I hate to be racist, but it's like it's the truth, and they know it. They like to act like NPCs, but they have some type of awareness and all that. But they like to act like these weirdo robots and all that. So, which is what which is what I believe AI is. Not a white person, but it's like that type of aspect, which is what everybody else is copying. Look at this. This says retail sales post largest drop in more than a year. So I don't know what they mean by retail sales, but they're showing like these shopping carts. So I guess it looks like Safeway or Giant. So I don't know what's up with that, but you know. And check this out, another bullshit thing. Like it's just negativity on the news, man. Like I said, why you think everybody's so mad and all that? It says national debt nears 40 fucking trillion dollars. And it says how we got here and why it matters. But I mean, why didn't y'all do this before it hits 40 trillion? You know what I'm saying? It's like they're just bullshitting. And then they got the women yapping on the media. It's like, which is propaganda as well as manipulation, because they're willing to play the game because they have to. You feel me? Because all this is for them in a way, because they really can't survive on their own. They have periods. They have, they get to old age. They're already lazy, so it's like, you know what I'm saying? They're already lazy, so look at them when they're 50. I'm seeing it in real time. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. And if they do that, they want to be compensated for it, as they should. But it's like I might as well buy a maid or purchase a maid, hire a maid, and then they have that thought in their mind or mindset of they're not your mom. Like they see that as a mom figure. You know what I'm saying? So the women are compromised. There's no point of dating them and all that type of stuff. Like they'll do stuff for you and all that, but it's so much give or take, if you will. It's not really worth it. And then you're not getting them in their prime, and then they shame you for dating, at a certain age limit. So, and nor can you even have the conversations about it because everybody's so what is it, non-liberal and conservative. But it's due to trauma and all that. So it is what it is. And we're supposed to be landed a free. We're supposed to be able to talk about certain conversations, but we can't even have certain conversations because y'all aren't real Americans. Y'all have like this weirdo hive mind, high moral compass, but yet y'all don't do anything morally righteous. You know. So like I said, like we're not. America isn't the America of what the founding fathers wanted. it's just a bunch of people who have Christian values. Pretty much, the Christians have took over the country because originally the founding fathers weren't even Christian, you know. So I don't really know where they got this Holy Bible from. I don't know where they got the being a Christian and all that. And then there's so many forms of Christians we don't even know who, you know. And then y'all like to say God. Jesus isn't God, so y'all like to interchange it. A lot of people are performative because they don't have any other religion, or that was their first religion, and now they're forced on it, and now they're trying to force other people on it. Yeah. Look at it's definitely about to storm now, but you know, I just like the vibe right now. I like how I got the lights on, not the 100% lights, just these little lamps. It's just a vibe right now. Uh, and you see on the news, I'm looking at this thing. It says like Trump is trying to be buddy buddy with Kim Jong Un, and we should be buddy buddy with everybody, like both sides of the coin and all that. And I just saw South Korea. They said they don't want to get involved with our politics with Iran. So they're cowarding away. They're playing both sides, if you will. Because they're cowards and all that. Like I said, all these cultures they're very very selfish and preservative, and it's understandable. But it's like they still want to do business with us. They want to do all these things, and then what's even worse is they don't like black people. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they're just as bad as I hate to say they're just as bad as the white people, but they're colonized. So it's like there's no point of even going over there. And speaking of that, NBA YoungBoy is, I guess, living over there. Like he's NBA YoungBoy, the dude from New Orleans, doesn't even want to live in this country anymore. After after everything well, not but everything that this country has done for him, Trump pardoned him or something of that nature. He did a whole tour of the youth. He promoted violence to the youth, got them wearing green flags and all that, just for him to say he's never coming back. So that's once again why I say it's important to be a hater, so you can really be critical of these people, because you can see that they're bullshit. You know, like I got a few songs that I like of him, but it's the fact, you know, like I don't like how these people are rug pulling us and all that. It's like they show love to the fans at first, and then as soon as they done leeching off them, they just discard them. But it's like that on both sides. The fans are doing that too. You know what I'm saying? Because if NBA YoungBoy didn't rap, they would call him a hoodlum, and they would just leave him in the slums of New Orleans, Baton Rouge at that. So that's a death sentence. Cause I think they still barely could recover from Katrina. So that's very very sad. Like I've dated somebody from New Orleans, as well as had a friend from New Orleans, and unfortunately my grades were so bad that I wasn't able to go on the marching band trip to the Mardi Gras. Like the high school band, they was gonna play at the Mardi Gras parade in New Orleans, but not only I couldn't afford it, but my grades weren't good enough to be in it. So I'm glad they even let me still be in the band, because my grades were terrible, man. Like my grades were literally all E's. Like I swear to God, it was the only good grade I had was in band. Like I think I even failed gym because I didn't put the clothes on. So, you know, nowadays I would definitely do the work. Like I could definitely, like people say that the school system doesn't matter, but it definitely matters. Like I can't do, I barely know miles per hour. You know what I'm saying? I barely know measurements and all that type of stuff. Because I was so busy trying to be popular and the class clown and all that stuff. So, and as you can see, nobody's here anymore. But if I still see people, they'll say what's up and all that, and they'll make conversation. But it's everybody's not themselves anymore, and they probably see me as like probably like a hoodlum now, I guess. I mean, I still look how I looked before, but they could probably feel it on me, my energy and all that, that I'm not really fucking around I'm not really fucking around anymore. You know what I'm saying? And it's a possibility that since I'm a felon, a one-time felon, I only have one thing on my charge, but that I probably have energy on me that I'm a felon. You know what I mean? I may not have that demeanor, but it's just the fact that I have that on my permanent record. There may be some type of energy, you know, but that's pseudoscience. I can't really, you know. But that may be a thing though. I may be actually blackballed in society because at the very least they say that on the job application and or even jury duty. I can't even do jury duty. Not that I want to, but it's the fact that am a felon and that's kind of hindering the jury. Even though I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like how they doing with Luigi Mangione. I think he's from Maryland. I know he's from Maryland. I don't know what part, but he's from Maryland. And they claim that, and I know for a fact that the people they'll be biased because that CEO he was a rich guy and he was involved in healthcare. They would let Luigi go just based off that fact. So like I said before, we're compromised as a country. Like we're pretty corrupted, unfortunately, at the highest forms. So we don't even deserve to call ourselves the greatest country in the world anymore. But based off our laws and compared to other countries, we're still the best of the best. But I mean, look at our navy right now. They saying people jumping ship and all that. But that's propaganda though. You feel me? It's not a lot of people doing it. It may have been about maybe three, four, five people who may have done it in the past. In that past, what was it? I forgot how long they was on the sea, but it wasn't that long. It was less than 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So if they couldn't stay on the ship for 2 years, our military is compromised. Why you think? Why do you think in Iran we're losing? I mean, we're not losing, but it kind of should have already been over with. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they even feel like they can still fight us shows that they don't respect us as a country, and they're somewhat holding it down because they're still not conforming to us because they're doing terrible negotiations with Iran. It's very very piss poor. Like I don't know, like we need a better negotiator or something. Like all you see on Twitter is this is back and forth. It says Trump declares the Strait of Hormuz our territory. Then it says no, it's not. Then it's like they're doing this weirdo chess game with everybody. And I believe they're doing that to not only troll Iran, but to be a confusion to the people in our country that could possibly be spies to Iran. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a possibility that once again we're compromised, and other people could possibly be spies, and you would never know who. So it's like we have so many cultures and diversity in our country, which I'm glad we do, but it's the fact that we have their people. You know what I'm saying? We have Iranians in our country, and they could be something called sleeper cells. Like, and if they really wanted to, they can possibly activate those people, and if not already. Because if y'all saw on the news, I don't know, I forgot it was they may have fucked around and been both the CIA and FBI Like some of those people got caught with stealing money and cryptocurrencies and So all that stuff is all that stuff is kind of over with. You feel me? But once again, we're in the greatest country in the world, and we have certain weapons that it's like if you move to another country, it's like it's right. You might as well live in America. You know what I'm saying? Because matter of fact, I'm glad I said that. They're actually holding talks now without voting the public. They didn't ask me, or they're not going to do a global census on if we should use those certain type of weapons on Iran. So they're really doing whatever they want. So y'all claim there's no kings, but I'm at the highest form. I'm a real person, and nobody's asking me my opinions on anything. So they're just doing whatever they want. They're calling for the death penalties again. Nobody's sticking up for us on the news saying, "Hey, that's kind of messed up," or "That shouldn't be." And then women are calling for it at that. So the women aren't helping. The LGBT is pretty much nowhere to be found. And then when you see them, they're not good people. So it's kind of like they're just they're just kind of degenerates. You feel me? It's like the point of America was supposed to be you could be a degenerate, but you have to contribute more than the average citizen, and they're not doing that. So they're kind of just hiding. And then when it comes down to it in a draft, they're not going to fight. You know what I'm saying? They're going to run away. And yeah, we may have some gay people in the military, but they're fighting for their right to be gay. You know what I'm saying? So they're pretty much fighting, they're pretty much getting the benefits. They want their military benefits, they want the favor in the job markets. You know, like when they apply for a job, they say, "Have you joined the military?" and all that. So they'll have special skills and all that. So once again, they're low key traders. They'll sell our information to China if it comes down to it, as well as the women. They don't mind speaking Chinese and other languages. You know, in school, I failed. Once again, I failed so many classes that I went to different foreign languages. I took Italian, French, and Spanish. I can't tell you a single thing from it, but I was in the class and I learned the stuff, but I didn't do the work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know if I could go into the STEM fields like that, you know? Like I have a decent IQ, but I didn't learn the basics. So I may just mess around and just go learn the basics and all that stuff, which I should, which I was originally doing, but I wanted I sold my Xbox and everything, and I want all that stuff back because I see my quality of life has gone low, and I don't have any money. So voila, that's why I'm making YouTube videos, and it's not going anywhere. And as y'all can see, it is the 17th. This week is GTA week. I don't see anybody even talking about GTA. So, like I said, it's hard to have that hype train when not only the creators aren't talking about it, and I'm pretty sure they are talking about it, but the fact that I have to search it up and all that type of stuff is like, I'm getting people free views. I'm going out my way when I'm still getting forced GTA content on my feed from media companies, but yet I'm not seeing like the cool stuff. So, which they're being paid to do, I'm sure. Whether it's involuntarily by Rockstar or literally by Rockstar themselves. So, and the women aren't really talking about anything. They're just like the women who aren't talking about man stuff, they're talking about feminist stuff, and it's not really interesting or worth looking at. Because like I said, I have to be a hater. I can't really just give y'all just free views and all that type of stuff. Because as y'all see, I'm sitting in silence. I don't really. If I played y'all video right now, I would get copyrighted. So I'm past all that type of stuff. So all I could do is just talk on here. And then I'm not. I don't look like y'all, so I'm not gonna have that echo chamber. I'm not gonna have those yes men like how the white people do. So, or the Hispanics and Mexicans. I don't know. Yeah, and like I said, I don't even see other foreigners. I don't even see y'all content. All I see is white and black people just doing clickbait reaction channels and talking about a bunch of nothing. And I guess I'm not really talking about a bunch of nothing though. You know what I'm saying? Like I have like a topic, but not like a script or nothing. But it's the fact that I'm just talking about certain things of quality. You know what I mean? Because we should at this point it's what August 17th. We should already have looked at all the content. We should be at the cutting edge like I am right now, which is what I'm saying of what content do we even make? Everybody should have already learned philosophy. We already looked at art. I mean, it's nothing to really talk about because the art that people are making is like it's not like before, like Da Vinci and no, how do we say Da Vinci? That's the designer. I meant to say Da Vinci, Leonardo da Vinci. People aren't like that anymore. Like I would love to be something like that, which I kind of am, what you would call a polymath. Like Benjamin Franklin. Like I consider myself that type of character, but unfortunately, I'm not at that high level of politics and all that. As in, like in office, you know what I'm saying? I'm at the highest form of politics, like ideologies and all that, but not as in I'm not making no Declaration of Independence and all that. Mm, somewhat, because I'm demanding freedom and liberty and all that, but not like we can't even if we wanted to. You know what I mean? Making laws and all that. I can't do like how y'all remember the episode in Family Guy when they was like how Peter Griffin pretty much discovered his own plot of land and he called it like Patora or something like that. But it was still in America though. So if he had certain laws, the big dogs would come and say, "Hey," they would knock on his door like I can't even say them because they'll probably strike my channel for saying that. But the alt right, yeah, I'll say it like that. The alt right movement will come to doors and say, "Hey, you can't do that." So therefore, we're at the forefront of reality right now, and at the forefront of countries. Because like how I'm doing right now, I guess you would call it lying flat and being a neat. Other countries are cracking down on that in their country. So all that stuff is over with. Because they were claiming how that's foreign people, like they're the Chinese, but they're calling us the foreigners, and they're saying how we're spreading propaganda to them, even though they don't have YouTube and all that. But they said their people are having paid promo by other countries, saying that the lying flat, neat, incel, black pill, bed rotting. That's what I meant. Bed rotting and all that type of stuff. So, like I said, they have so many things for it, and they're all different, of course. But it's all in that one branch of people. And then I'm seeing my peers; they're kind of folding now. Like they went for black pill, and now they're going to work and all that. So it's very, very unfortunate. And now what's even worse is they're making fun of the black pill people now. They're making fun of the incels and all that. So once again, another rug pull. But I already see all this stuff. I already called them out on it. And not only are they not having the debate with me, but the people in the comment section are not liking it, and they're also defending them. So, and I don't mind defending my viewpoint on things, on my perspective, but it's the fact that nobody else is coming to my defense. So, and I hate to sound like a narcissist, but I know I'm not wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, because I'm righteous and all that, I follow the 42 laws of my yacht at the least. You know what I'm saying? And that not even at the least. I follow the 10 Commandments. I follow the 42 laws of my yacht, the 12 laws of karma, and 12 laws of the universe. I follow all that type of stuff. I don't see them talking about that type of stuff. They're talking about all negativity. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I'm saying people in my area, they're fleeing the state, like the Native Americans, the Native Marylanders, and all that. Like everybody around me are all transplants and people that's from D.C. and Virginia. So they grew up totally different than me. That's saying now that I don't know, but they come from bad environments, if you will. Like I hate to say the hood, but they come from the hood, if you will. But not only it's not just the hood though. It's like it's the way their parents raised them. You feel me? And not in a good way. It's not on some they can't relate, or it's just they grew up pretty shitty. Like they had shitty parents. You know what I'm saying? Like remember I was talking about how their moms used to like smack them and all that type of stuff, and they'll like laugh about it, joke about it in the comment section. I'm like, that's that's child abuse, bro. And that's why they don't mind being punked by women, because their moms did it. And I have a stepmom now, and she's doing like punk shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I would hold her accountable to things, and then she would actually lie. She would lie to my dad, try to cause us to have confrontation. So I don't even confront her anymore because I know how women are. Like I'm pretty sure she's trying to get me kicked out. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of took over the spaces in a way, and she sees that like these spaces are mine, so she's probably trying to. She wants these spaces. Like I'm in the basement right now or whatever. She wants this and all that. But there's enough rooms for everybody. But women they have become the new predators and conquerors, if you will. But they're not. Yeah, they're not. But they're also not righteous. So they're doing it very dishonorably. Like they're lying. Being on some fake. They're being on some fake pimp stuff. Like they'll withhold sex. They'll threaten divorce and all that type of stuff. So that's why I don't even want to argue with my stepmom. Like I don't even like that word, stepmom and all that. So I don't call her that, or I don't let anybody, say that to me. But I don't like none of that stuff because I feel like those type of words, like a stepmom, stepdad. I feel like that's them being like dominant or trying to conquer, pretty much saying you no longer have a mom. That's the stepmom. You know what I'm saying? And if it was vice versa, as in if I had a stepdad, oh, it would have been over with. It would have been over with because he would have been trying to like dominate and be alpha and all that type of stuff. Because I know some guys that are stepdads, they say, are they able to discipline their children, as in like give them spankings and all that. And some guys they won't go for that unless they can discipline the child, and it's like that's disgusting, very very disgusting. So, and that's why I don't like being around a lot of men because they're weird. I hate to be like that, but the conversations, the just the way we carry ourselves around each other. But I transcended past all that. I don't really, I like to have fun and all that. Like if I have too much fun, they'll probably call me. They'll say I'm sus or being feminine or something. Nobody never said that to me or anything, because that's I would have fought them over that. But it's the fact that I feel like I can't say whatever I want around them or have certain conversations. So therefore, it's really no point of being around men like that, because they won't only they won't they're gonna attack you. You know what I'm saying? And men know what I'm talking about. Like if I say the wrong thing, people get smacked and all that, and they think that's the right thing to do, and it's not at all. We're in a first world country. We used to be able to have freedom of speech. Why do you think we have assault charges and assault laws and all that? So yeah, like I said, it's damn near over with for me. I'm at my wits end with everything. The women suck. The women want to talk all day, and I'm not really trying to talk all day. And then if I ignore people, they're gonna think I'm snooty or whatever. And I am, but not in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? I'm luxurious and elegant and all that type of stuff. But I'm still, what is the word? Rugged, I guess. Like I'm still like I'm all those things. I'm like high end. I'm a countryman and all that type of stuff. So also a gangster and all that. Even though I'm not in the gang, you know. Cause look at those gangs. Like look at Los Angeles and all that. They shouldn't even be alive. You feel me? I know that sounds crazy, but they have all those gangs. They have Crips, Bloods, and they have different sectors. I'm like, in the year they're playing chess with each other, but it's like at this point, I'm seeing everybody on no jumper and all that. I'm like, how is everybody still alive? I'm still seeing everybody in jail, following jail rules and all that. That's what I'm saying. If I go to jail, I'm trying to start anarchy. I'm trying to start riots and all that. And like I'm trying to push, I'm trying to push that. You know what I'm saying? And I can still do all that type of stuff. I don't claim nothing, but hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm all of them. You know what I mean? I'm all the gangs. At the highest forms, and that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be American gangsters. You know what I'm saying? How do you think we got this country? How do you think we got this country? They was real gangster. I would even say Jesus was gangster. They gave Jesus the death penalty. So and he was really pushing that. You know what I'm saying? He even had disciples. If y'all look out, shit, gangster disciples. So all right, let me cut it off. All right, my time limit thing ran out. So, like I said, see, I be flowing and then it just cuts off. Like it would have started like delaying and all that goofy shit. So, and like I said, I be wanting to talk about that type of stuff, like the gangsterism and the mafia and all that type of stuff. But it's like I'm not getting enough traction and all that. I would just make myself a target. You know what I mean? Not to say I'm doing anything, but it's just the fact that you know talking about that type of stuff, they'll say I'm corrupting the youth, I'm corrupting society by talking about certain things like that, and then they'll like how they did Nick Fuentes, they'll freeze my bank account, all that type of stuff. And I love my family too much to even put that stuff on them, put that burden on them. You know what I mean? Because I've seen it in the courtroom when I was fighting my felon case. My dad, he spoke on the stand, like because I needed like witnesses and all that. Not witnesses, but like what is it called? Not recommendations, but people to vouch for me, to say I'm a good person and all that. You know what I'm saying? And he got on the stand and he started kind of tearing up a little bit, and that broke my heart. You know what I mean? So, so that's how I know these people don't have like loving families and all that. Because once you see that for the first time, it's like, damn, I really really don't want to do that. Because I'm something called empathetic and all that, like an empath and all that, so I could really feel that stuff. Yeah. Like I said, I only caught one charge, but the charge was so serious. You feel me? It's like I can't really I can't really do anything outside of the country. You know, I mean, I can say what the charge is. Is I had a firearm, so I can't even join the military if I wanted to. Like if I had to join the military, I feel like they will put me at the forefront, and I don't mind. I would love that, but we're not supposed to be killing people. So it's like I'm so at an impasse with that type of stuff. It's like, but then it's like it's a war out here. So it's like it's a war in the military on an international level. Then it's a war with black people as well as the Mexicans and the whites. Like at any moment of time, this stuff could just pop off, and it's like I got to be like a coward and I got to hide just so I can ascend to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Because these people, they're gonna get like gruesome. Like if you look at jail and all that, I seen this thing on the news. They shoving guns up their butt. You know what I'm saying? They're shoving guns and knives up their ass, and it's like I would have to do stuff like that just so I can have that advantage over people, and I'm not willing to take it that far like y'all because I'm still trying to go to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if I go to jail right now, like I thank God I didn't serve like time. I was just in the holding tank, and even that was kind of wild, you know. I think that I bailed out and all that, but because they was already trying to push that on me, you know what I'm saying? So so it would have been shitty, and I only weigh about 140. You feel me? I can only do so much, and they have like rape gangs and all that. So y'all know what would have happened, and I'm kind of like handsome and all that. So y'all seen the I was gonna say the homie, but y'all seen the dude Fleece Johnson on like he's out. I don't know. I don't even know how that's possible. I don't even know how he's still alive. But see, that's what I'm saying though. It's like I don't get the jail culture. You know what I mean? Like he's like a known rapist. Like he was raping people in jail. Like if y'all look at the Boondocks, he was like they have like they he was like you could do this the easy way or you could do this the hard way type of thing. So it's like that's some sick shit, you know. And he's like on the internet, like he's like getting paid to talk, and it's like you mean to tell me I can't get paid to talk, but he is? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing like the 20v1s, he was on that, all that weirdo stuff. It's like I said, I don't know what's going on with. Well, I know what's going on with the internet, but it's like I'm not willing to entertain y'all. Y'all don't deserve like positive content and like real world content. But I appreciate the fact that like everybody has the freedom to like get on the camera and talk like that, you know? Like he shouldn't be like because he served his time and everything. They should have did him in jail, you know? They should have, you know, pushed up on him in jail. But I mean, he's free now, so it's like I'm not a fan of. I mean, I can't say I'm not a fan of vigilante justice. You know, like the homie from Watch Dogs, Aiden Pierce or something like that. Like I'm a fan of vigilantism or Batman. Or Daredevil, Deadpool, blah blah blah. But it's just the fact that he's still an American. You know what I'm saying? And he went to jail at an early age. Like he kept going in and out of jail, and he got raped. So it was like he started doing the raping. So it's like it's really deep. There's a lot of trauma. Excuse me. I had three packs of noodles again. I love eating those top ramens. It's really good. And see how easy it is for me to eat all that type of stuff. A lot of people, I used to do that, but a lot of people they go out to eat a lot, and then like the people my age, they get mad at the older generation for saying, "Oh, eat packs of noodles," or they tell them they're spending too much on coffee and all that, $9 cups of coffee and all that. So, but they're like, "Oh, they don't get it," but no, they do. They had to eat these ramen noodles. They had to do all that. How you think they got into their position? Like they had to have roommates and all that bullshit. But it's like me, I can't have no roommate, bro. Especially somebody my age, at any moment of time they could turn on me. You feel me? And it's just like our families were supposed to that's really what we're supposed to do. Like all of our families, we're supposed to come together and put all of our money together. But unfortunately, people have that trauma and they don't have that trust system like I would, or people aren't as righteous as me, you know. Because I have cousins that still live at home like I do, and nobody thought, hey, let's pull all our money together. Or even the youth in general. Like they're talking about doing communism and socialism, but I'm like, why don't we all just stack up our money and buy a house and we can all live together? You know what I'm saying? But people, once again, y'all don't deserve content and all entertainment, and y'all don't deserve nice things because y'all not good people. If we were, as the youth, I'm 28, but 18 to 20, we should all we should all came together and have a new America. You know what I'm saying? So, and the fact that everybody hasn't come to that conclusion is weird, right? So, I don't really know. And they have this thing called divide and conquer. It's a possibility that they're doing that on purpose to make sure that we don't come together. You know what I mean? Because we would be a huge hive mind, like kind of like how we are now in a way, but not really. It's a hive mind as in like the laws or whatever. But even that is kind of wishy washy. So I don't know how we're gonna survive as a country. Because I know once the elders are gone, like the people that's about 40 right now and up, when they're gone, it's gonna be rough. Like I said in the previous video, I was talking about how they may possibly do the purge. People are gonna come together like in Mad Max. So and it's gonna be pretty shitty. And hopefully we don't get like a Dune or what was that Maze Runner or something like that. I didn't see the movie, but I seen the book a little bit. So and y'all see all this AI going on. I I never heard of this Chinese app. I forgot what it's called. It's not the DeepSeek, but it's a new one. They said they got about 2 billion people joined that AI, that Chinese AI. So while they're doing that, we're talking the see that's what I'm saying. The people in my generation, they're so stupid that they're forcing us to have regulations and they're sabotaging our AI. But on the other side of the country, and I mean, yeah, on the other side of the world, China has their own AI system with no regulations, as well as their quantum computers. So, like, I don't know how that's possible that they even like built this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I believe they were like me, like in a dark, or not dark room, but they was probably in a dark room, but they was in a room like this trying to figure out what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? Not they was like they have that ego. They don't want to make content. They don't want to be on some YouTube being a clown or whatever. But they also don't want to go to work, and they also don't want to join the military. So they probably have communed with, I don't want to say Satan, but some type of AI entity, or and that's what we call it, a AI entity. It could it has no name. You know what I'm saying? Artificial intelligence, just like that's a broad term. So we don't know what that thing is. Just like just like a cell phone. Like that's the word that we gave it. We don't really know what this technology is, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, all this stuff gets really, really deep. And unfortunately I don't have anybody to talk to about this type of stuff. And even if I did, they would say, "Oh, you're tripping, you're schizophrenic, you're bipolar, you're manic, you're fucking all this bullshit." You know what I'm saying? But y'all got to pick one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to pick one of them. Like if I got all of them, that means I need to talk to the Guinness Book of World Records or something. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just flowing. It's 8:14. Like I said, I don't really know what to do because I mean, I and that's another reason I don't really rewatch this stuff because I remember myself talking about this. So it's kind of me like a I don't want to. It's not a brick. It's not like talking to a brick wall, but it's like a talking to an echo. You know what I mean? Or it's like looking at a listening to a tape recorder or a record. So and knowing I could, and that's an hour long content. I could be looking at something else. Like I may miss something. I have that FOMO, but mine is 5%. That's crazy. But I be having that FOMO, but it's like real FOMO because you are missing out on things. You know what I'm saying? But then when you really think about it, I I haven't looked at everything. For example, like I missed the eclipse the other day. I had no clue that even happened. So I think it was like in Europe or something. They like I said, I don't see the news until it's 13 hours later, even though I'm on my phone all day. So they're purposely putting me in a bubble, and I can't really maneuver like that. So so that's why the news is really based off of what's out there. Like you really don't even have to watch the news because the real news would happen in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like if I looked at some news 13 hours ago, it would have been too late. You know what I'm saying? And then my family doesn't have conversations with me about the news. So, because it's probably too depressing. You know what I'm saying? So, and they know I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist, and they don't want to really say I'm right. You know, they had that ego. They don't want to kind of look dumb. You know, I was talking about the vaccines and all that type of stuff. I was talking about I ain't really talk about them. I ain't really talk to them about conspiracy theories. So like they be like listening to my conversations and all that sometimes. But you know, it is what it is. Like they have this thing called not safe for work and all that. So it'd be like that sometimes. It's kind of hard to talk to people or be out in public talking like this. So and then I'd be flowing too. I don't like how people talk. Like the way they talk is like weird. It's like they will focus on one aspect and then they'll think about something to say. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to debate, but they're not really trying to debate. They're more so what was the saying? They're more so they're replying to argue. They're replying to they're not really trying to understand me. They're trying to combat me. They're trying to win a conversation, if you will. So, which isn't real human conversation. Like you see, I'm flowing right now. They would talk like in they'll talk in like paragraphs. If I guess like I wish I could show an example like how they be talking to the camera. Not like I'm talking. Like I'm talking like how like a human would. You know what I'm saying? But they're talking like a monologue, I believe. I think that's the word, a monologue. Like how like if they was writing a book or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'm kind of writing like I'm talking like a book, but not per se. You know what I'm saying? Like this wouldn't be a good book. This is a good video. You know what I'm saying? And my phone's about to die anyway, so my phone's on 3%. So like I said, I already made all the content I want. I already did my dancing. I did my singing. I don't want to rap. I did my little ad libs, making somewhat my own song, if you will. No traction at all. And that was a really good video too. I looked back on that. That was really good. And once again, it's not getting no traction because they want a target audience, and you know you have to be a certain niche. That's NICHE niche, and it's like I don't want to be that though. You know, because I want to talk about different types of things, and like if I start talking about certain things, I'm gonna my subscriber count is gonna go down, and it's like then I lose the partnership and all that. And I don't even think they want to partner me. You know what I'm saying? So nor do I want to be a YouTube partner. But it's like, how am I supposed to get money without working a job? Because I would I like I'm, and not only am I seeing, and not only do I want to be, not only do I not want to be at a job all day, like that's 8 hours a day. Something is bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I was at, like I said, I was at work at my pizza spot, and I got into a fight, got into multiple fights. You know, I got into a fight with a coworker over a girl, over a Hispanic girl at that. You know, she was cheating on him with me. So he got mad and called me. He got mad and called me a bitch on the timesheet, like on the schedule. And I told the girl, when I see him, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. And I didn't know she was gonna text him that. So it was kind of crazy. I was like, I was at work, but he pulled up to the not but he pulled up to the spot. He didn't work that day, but he pulled up to the spot looking for me, and he was way bigger than me, a Hispanic dude. I I, I can say his name since it's so basic. His name was Jose. I'm not making it up. His name was Jose. So he had long hair. He had glasses, kind of big, and I dropped him too. I weighed 140. I hit him with a clean right hook. He slid on the floor. It was crazy. It was, but I let him get up and everything, but I shouldn't have though. But yeah, like I said, being at these work environments for a long time, you're bound to get into a incident with somebody. And if you look in the news, I'm seeing it on the news in real time. Like they're shooting people, they're shooting their coworkers and all that. I just seen a thing, and my phone's on 1%. I'll hurry up. So the guy said how he shot the woman because she was taking too many breaks at work. Like what? Like he shot the woman because he said he made her mad. I mean, she made him mad because she was taking so many breaks at work. I'm pretty sure y'all seen that. It just happened. I don't know what place. I'll show y'all, but my phone is on 1%. I can't really go in. All right, love y'all. Peace.